Hey everyone, just going to be sharing with you a few different things today on curling hair, the product that I use, how I curl my hair, what tool I use, and how to achieve your finished outcome the way that you want it. So curling hair, especially when you're doing it by yourself, it can be a bit confusing, and depending on, a lot of people find that one way will always sit different to the other. I'm left-handed, so my dominant side is that side, whereas when I come this way, my curls don't really sit as well as I'd like them to if I'm doing them with a straightener. If I do them with a tong, I don't really have a problem with it. So, first things first, this is not a 32 millimeter barrel. I'm pretty sure is what I was meant to say. I just finished work, I'm tired. So, this is a standard size barrel. So the reason that I've chosen this is because my hair's up in a ponytail, so the length is going to be shorter as opposed to if I had it down. I could curl it more down here, but I'm going to be curling it up. So I would like to have a smaller barrel, so I'm going to get a tighter curl. So, I generally, when I straighten my hair, I will use a heat protector that's got smoothing, it's got hydration to it. So for example, if we take these two Matrix heat protectors, we have Mega Sleek and then we have Heat Buffer. So Heat Buffer has a bit of a hold factor to it, so it is better for curling and more for texture as well. But if you do want smoothness and shine, more so Mega Sleek is going to sleek it out for you as well. Depends on the type of hair that you have. Sometimes I have clients who have finer type of hair. So something like Heat Buffer would be what I would use because I want a bit more structure in the hair as well. So because I'm curling, I'm going to take Heat Buffer. I'm going to split my hair in half. And spritz, top, bottom, up. Same thing on the other side. And then I always brush my product through. Make sure your hair's not really wet, like from product. If you've done that, then you might have applied too much product or you could have applied the wrong product. So I'm going to take a section about that thick and I'm going to split it in half. Because my tong doesn't have a clip on it, I will be using a glove because that's how you end up with nice little burns on your arms like that from the top of the tong. Some companies have actually, like the new silver bullet barrel that I have, this top bit actually doesn't heat up. It's got a tip on the top that's, it doesn't heat up so you don't burn yourself, which is really good. So I'm going to be taking this section. Now, the way that I want my curls to sit is I'm going to do them how you would do a Hollywood wave. So I'm actually going to roll like this, hold it there for a few seconds, but I do want to keep my ends straight. So once I've done that, you'll leave it in the barrel to sit, generally up to 8 to 10 to 12 seconds. You can feel the heat. You can feel the heat starting to come through on the top. What your options are, you can either pin it so that it will last longer, or you can just drop it. And you can already see my hair started to just take a little bit of that shape on already. So the higher up you lift it, what we call on and off base. So this is on base. I'm going to have more curl towards the root. So I generally count down in my head 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can feel the heat coming through the tip. If you hold it in your hand, your curl will form as more of a curl and it will last longer as well. If you drop it straight away, you're going to get more of that looser curl coming through. So we're going to repeat that throughout the rest. Now, because it's in a ponytail, it doesn't take too long because you can just split all your sections up. So that's way too thick. The heat's not going to transfer through that section of hair evenly. So we're going to need to split that in half. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. When you are putting your hair through, kind of make sure that you're separating it a bit as well, so that you're not just shoving like one whole chunk of the thickness of the hair into one bit. If you do drop your hair, for example, like that, and it hasn't fully curled, just pick it up and just keep going. Hold it if you want. I'll show you what it looks like if you hold it for a bit longer. So sometimes when I'm curling hair and I'll like finish with the tong or finish with the straightener, I'll actually hold it. And now straight away you can see that is so much curlier than that. And that is the exact same technique. Now, I'm going to show you as well, if your hair's a bit too curly, how do you fix it? You can fix it with a blow dryer and you can fix it with a straightener. You can't really fix it with a curler. You also need to have something that's going to apply tension to the hair so you can stretch it out. Now we start lifting. That's how I burnt my arm last time, was going like that. So we lift up, round, round. Even when you're putting your hair on your tongue, if you kind of like wrap it, so this is smooth, this is wrapped towards the end. If you put it on smooth, you're going to get more of a softer wave. If you like wrap it more as you're putting it around the tongue, you're going to get more of a beachy texture to it because you've already created texture by wrapping it. So this is a huge section, so I can still feel the heat needs to be transferred to the top a bit more. Me doing that just smooths it out. I don't want it really curly, so bang, I'm going to drop it. Now, what have we got left? We've only got one curl on this side, so... Cool, so that's the last bit. What I found when I was first starting off with hairdressing is, a little tip as well, if you feel like you've got less hair on the ends and you don't want it to be too curly, but you've got more hair at the root area towards here, leave your roots in the tongue for longer and then wrap your ends around. So if you've got less hair down towards here, you don't need to leave the heat on there for so long. Hairdressers don't really have feeling in their hands anymore. We don't feel temperature. Drop it. All right. Cool. So that's my ponytail now. Now I could just like give that a bit of texture, brush it through, add a bit of height towards the crown. So start to lift that up a bit more, and that could be a really, really nice, elegant finish. Even for a client going out, you could put some extensions in there and that would look really nice. However, what it looks like when it's brushed out is completely different. So even if you just brush it out with your fingers, it's going to be more separated. So, which means it's going to make the hair like bigger, but it's going to add more texture to it. That's exactly what I mean. It adds a lot more texture. Or if you just go through like that, you can smooth it down and soften it down a little bit as well. If you brush it though, it's going to look completely different. It'll turn into more of a smooth wave. So that's more a smoother wave that you're going to get. And that's nice. But if we straighten the ends, or it's too curly, it's going to look very different. Yeah, obviously the more heat that you put on your hair, the more it's going to dry it out. So I actually really like that now. That's perfect. It's a little bit straight here, but that can be easily fixed with a tong or a straightener. Just do the same thing. So that is the finished look, more of a smoother, sleek ponytail. I'll still show you a few more ways that you can make it look more elegant. If you have a tail comb or a teasing comb, grab the top section like that. Don't tease it too much though, just a little bit, because we're going to do all the teasing underneath. Then I'm going to take another section. I'm only going to back comb here down, lift it up. My hair's thick, so I'm going to take another section. And that's about 3/4 of my hair I've got teased now. This bit underneath doesn't need to be teased. So you can see straight away when you bring it back, you get all that lift in the crown area there. And then what you can do is just smooth the top out. Or pull your ponytail tighter. And that will create a bit more lift in there for you as well. Alright, there's something else you can do as well. So there's a product called chalk or dust texturizing powder. There's all different names for it. They all come out different ways. Now, same brand, two different types of texturizing powders. So one is super dust and one is texture dust. So Super Dust more so, the difference is Super Dust is stronger, so it has more of a hold to it. So this is really good for putting into your regrowth if you want to get that lift, but it has more of a chalky texture to it, so it's more of a matte finish. I always ask clients for permission before I put dust in their hair because some people just don't like how it feels. So that's dust, a little fine white line, and then it just gets that matte texture to it. Texture dust, on the other hand, is a little bit finer. It's not as gritty, and it's a bit more pliable. So yeah, the first one's almost a bit sticky, but it's good depending on what you need. So I want to have a bit of texture. So what I want to do is actually put it all throughout my hair. Now I'm wearing white, that wasn't a very good idea. But you can see straight away, it just changes the shape of it. You get more body and more texture through it as well. So yeah, curling and doing all that type of stuff really just depends on what look you want to create, what tools you have, and which way you direct the curl. Your products are always going to help you. At the end of the day, your products aren't going to... When it comes to styling, unless you put products in and you choose the right products and you create the right foundation, everything you do from then on out, it'll collapse if you don't. You won't be happy with your style. It's not going to last for as long. All those little things make a massive difference. So invest in your products, invest in your knowledge on your products as well, knowing what to use instead of standing there at the station and going, oh shit, there's so many of them, I don't know which one to pick. Research what you stock, research what you own, and find your favorites. I have a favorite from volumizing spray to smoothing product to bloody heat protector to shampoo, conditioner, and treatments. I have a specific type that I like for each different hair types, but no hair type's the same, so you have to make sure you customize it for your clients as well. So yeah, that's just my little video for today. So my energy is gone now. I've finished my coffee and I am tired, so I will go look beautiful while I go sleep. Goodbye.